Welcome everybody to a straight shoot short. We're going to be discussing the Liv Morgan problem, as I'm sure you already saw from the title. Steve, Liv Morgan has just recently won the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship by cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase after the Natalya Ronda Rousey match, cashing in on Ronda Rousey, barely winning, but she is now the current WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, and we are overjoyed because we love Liv Morgan. You and I have been banging the drum of Liv Morgan for the better part of a year at this point. We've been disappointed every time WWE refuses to pull the trigger on her, and we jumped up in joy when they finally did, even though it wasn't the most ceremonious way to do it, but they did it anyway. And we think that there might be a problem with this. Give me some initial thoughts.
Listen, Santi, I've never been a fan of the fan favorite next to Austin and Rock from the Attitude Era. I wasn't a fan of Kofi Mania. I wasn't a fan of Daniel Bryan. I wasn't a fan of the John Cena push. I wasn't even a big fan of the Big E push, even though it was absolutely fantastic. But I'm starting to see similarities between all of these. Liv Morgan, I was a fan of. She deserves it. She's put a lot of work in, and she's had a lot of setbacks. So I really think she's one of those ones on the roster that I think deserves the current situation or current position that she's in. That is my first point. My second point in this is it was a very sloppy way of cashing in the Money in the Bank. You and I, like we said, we were on live. We were very excited. We were very overjoyed at how it all went down. But Santi, there's a problem. There's a big problem. And unfortunately, we saw this during a house show the other night with one of the most disrespectful things that a pro wrestler can do to another pro wrestler during an event. And granted, this was a house show. This wasn't on live TV, but granted, Santi, there's always cameras filming, and there's always a way it's going to show up on the internet. There is a triple threat match: Ronda Rousey, Natalya, Liv Morgan for the women's title, SmackDown Women's title. Ronda Rousey's out of the ring. Liv Morgan hits her finisher. 1, 2, 3. Natalya instantly pops up, turns around, points her finger, screams at Liv Morgan, rolls out of the ring, and walks away before Liv even gets the title put back in her hands. This is a reminder of Austin Aries against what was his name then? Johnny Nitro or whatever he was in Ring of Honor. No, Impact, one of the two. Anyways, again, hits the finisher, gets the pin, and this is his first world title ever. And Austin Aries gets up and walks down the apron, up the ramp, no sells everything. Santi, there is a problem. It might not be with the fans, but there is a problem definitely in the back. And I don't think Liv Morgan is getting the respect as a champion that she should be from her coworkers.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
potentially some of the fans.
And it starts with WWE's. You could see their lack of trust in Liv Morgan's star power, where they wouldn't just put her over. It's not even asking to put her over clean, because it's cashing in the Money in the Bank. All we wanted was for the WWE to allow Liv to cash it in strong, which is different than clean, right? Hitting her with the briefcase, maybe not necessarily that, but like hitting some moves on a Ronda Rousey that is injured. And that doesn't put down Ronda Rousey, but instead, what they did was Liv Morgan barely scraping by with the victory after getting manhandled throughout that cash-in by Ronda Rousey for the majority of the time, only for Liv Morgan to win with a roll-up. A roll-up pin during a Money in the Bank cash-in on a champion that was already injured and had already gone through a match. So they, right off the onset, are afraid of, for some reason, making Liv Morgan look strong. A little bit weird. All right. But like you said, we're starting to see that the people that be at the back do not have this trust in Liv Morgan. And whether, you like her or not, Natalya is potentially, you could call her the Undertaker of the women's division. She is she is a staple of that division and somebody that likely has a lot of sway in the locker room with women, with the female performers. To have somebody of that caliber not give you the brass ring, not give you the Batista thumbs up,
Yep.
that's bad. That's really, really bad when both a locker room leader does this to you and then the WWE itself and creative is unsure of your star caliber to be able to put you over strong. That is a problem. Now, we've had this before, but it happened after they became champion because Kofi Kingston won his championship strong. Okay, the push was everything we wanted. He won his championship strong, but from there, the defenses, the way, the screen time that the championship was getting, and then of course the coup de grace was how Kofi Kingston lost his title to Brock Lesnar in like 7 seconds during the inaugural SmackDown episode on Fox. I'm concerned that this is where the Liv Morgan title run is going, where it's going down the path of WWE just feeding her to the likes of Ronda Rousey's. And I'm actually not, I told you before this that I'm scared that they're just going to feed her to a Ronda Rousey and at SummerSlam. I didn't even think about this, dude. They're going to feed her to Charlotte when she comes back.
You just took my point away from me. Oh, dude, you just took my point away from me. I was going to say, Santi, you were forgetting one big thing. It's not Ronda.
Yeah.
It is Charlotte, and we're going to go right into WrestleMania in LA, Ronda versus Charlotte. That's how this is going to get booked. And it is unfortunate. Liv is going to be a turnover champion, and Charlotte's going to walk in as the entitled bitch, as we mentioned on our last podcast, and she's just going to get it handed to her for the 97th time to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. And Liv is going to fall back to the middle of the pack, just like Kofi did. And it's going to be one of those ones that it could potentially, if they keep going this way, yeah, Liv Morgan's champion right now, but she'll never be remembered in 20 years.
And, this has been call it a quasi curse of the Money in the Bank cash-ins in recent years. We love Big E, but even you and I were pretty underwhelmed with the title run and the quality of matches that they let him have with the championship. Of course, unceremoniously losing it to Brock Lesnar and then not even getting a rematch because they went to Bobby Lashley. There was The Miz, who was literally champion for one day, right? So like maybe it's not a Liv Morgan problem. Maybe it's the WWE losing the love of the Money in the Bank cash-in. I don't know. Like I'm obviously I'm trying to make assumptions. I'm trying to make justifications. But that can be one thing, right? Like it can be maybe the WWE, they want to make Money in the Bank cash-ins look weak. Man, whatever. That's a creative decision. But what Natalya did, that is not a creative decision, right? That is a locker room leader purposely burying you. And the argument of it was at a house show. No, it's 2022. There's fucking cameras everywhere. All right. There are cameras on lenses nowadays. Okay. You should assume that there is a camera pointed at you at all times when you are performing at a house show, because that is definitely the case. And it's going to get out into social media. And this did get out, and it makes Liv Morgan look really bad, and I'm really scared for her title run.
I've watched 100 different angles of this video. Literally, I've watched one because I wanted to see what she said. This is the thing. Yeah, the first video I saw was third tier level, pointed down. Natalya gets up, turns, and points at her, Liv's in the corner. I tried to see what she said. I couldn't find an angle where it was clear enough. But would you ever see The Undertaker ever break character like that in ring? Never. He'll kick your ass in the back, put you up against the wall. But Natalya to do that, first off, the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen her do.
Incredibly unprofessional.
Secondly, we need to acknowledge that Liv Morgan has come so far athletically, because the sequence leading up to the finish was, for me, clean for the ability of the three women working in the ring. Liv's finisher is not horrible. It's I actually like it. I think it's great. And the fact that she didn't get to use it on Ronda in her cash in, like, imagine Ziggler getting a roll up on a knee injured Alberto Del Rio. Same thing. A little back and forth, zigzag to finish. That wouldn't have gone down as well if Ziggler didn't get his finish. I barely remember the segment of the roll up, how Liv got there, because she was just in the ankle lock for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's great that you brought up that Ziggler, because I thought that's what they were going for. I'm like, I love this. This is great. She's going to hit her finisher and we're going to pop like crazy. But no, it was just a measly little roll up, Steve. I'm overall just scared, underwhelmed so far, and disappointed with this. But again, it's so early on. There is time to fix this. Time can heal wounds. But I'm scared for SummerSlam.
But then again, you look at the other thing, and you look at the promo the couple of promos she's cut since being champion. The one on Raw, the one on SmackDown, and it's like she lost me in both.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see them, because I wanted to see her come and cut a gritty face promo being like, I got this now. I worked my ass off. You aren't taking this from me. And she basically was pulling a Cody Rhodes crying in the middle of the ring, and I hated every second of it. And people wonder why I hate faces. Like, this was so bad. And it sounded... Bully Ray said it perfectly. Liv Morgan is a person playing a professional wrestler and sports entertainer. She's not a professional wrestler and sports entertainer. She's playing one when she's cutting her promo. It's almost like she's looking at the sheet of a paper in her mind as she's talking. And it loses you. Because you look at it, you and I joke around and cut promos on each other because we know about each other, and we can do that kind of stuff. She knows these people in the back. She knows her own story, but she still thinks like looks like she's lost. I'm not against Liv Morgan. I like Liv Morgan. But something has to happen here, man, or she is in a lot of trouble. And if she gets squashed by Charlotte, she's going to end up in the 24/7 chase with Dana Brooke. Sorry, guys. That's how far I'm going with this, and that's how far I'm worried about. That's how worried about this. Very worried.
Like you said, we love Liv Morgan, so we just want this to be better, so that we can root for her and we can be excited for matches and be excited for what else is to come in her very young career. But Steve, where can people find you?
Guys, you can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Tesh. I should be up and running by the time this video is posted. And on TikTok at Straight Shoot Wrestling Podcast, and of course Straight Shoot Sports.
Perfect. Santi, where can people find you?
Santi, well, you started talking. I was like, okay, he's gonna say something. Santi, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/SantiZap. I'm streaming there 5 nights a week, so please come on over. Links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Take care, be good people, and goodbye.